After the COVID pandemic, the streets of Amsterdam are getting filled with many tourists again. The entertainment and service industry are happy to see the tourists back, but not everybody shares this feeling. In July earlier this year, the Amsterdam Council adopted a new policy to regulate the tourism in Amsterdam. The amount will be reduced to 20 million overnight stays per year. Thijs is working at WeBike and is not too concerned about the limit, but is curious to how they will solve it.
How are you going to do that? People don't even spend the night here. They stay in Haarlem. They live an hour away. They come to Amsterdam for a day. Do you going to put a fence around it, or what's the plan? I'm curious.
Have you heard anything from the government, or have you heard anything about how you have to limit your business?
No. We were confronted with a city tax for the tours that we do, so we have to pay an amount of €1.50 per participant in our tour, and that counts for all sorts of tours, whether it's on a boat or a walking tour or a bike tour. And we're doing bike tours, so we're paying that, which is fine. I can understand. It's a way of getting money.
The policy was a result of a citizens' initiative last year. Locals were unhappy with the number of tourists who visited Amsterdam. The high number resulted in overcrowded streets and more hotels and Airbnbs. Residents of Amsterdam think the tourists take up too much space in the city at some points. Koen gives an example of this.
So back when I used to bike different routes, I used to encounter a lot of tourists, and they would walk up the streets without looking. There's also a lot of tourists on bikes that don't have a lot of biking experience, or Amsterdam biking experience, let's say. And they are actually a bit dangerous on the road as well, so a lot of that.
It is a busy Saturday in Amsterdam, filled with people from different parts of the world. We asked the tourist what he thinks about the limit.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because all the companies here, local companies or tourist shops, they live from the tourists.
Yeah.
Otherwise Amsterdam economy will collapse.
How the limit will exactly be carried out is still being discussed, but measures like limiting Airbnbs, increasing tourist tax, or making the red light district less attractive with limits on alcohol sales are expected.